Hi there, my name's Tom Martin. I'm a cinematographer, filmmaker, and I also run a video production agency called Forward. Recently, we were approached by a new client, AlloyGator, to create a high-end commercial video for the web. So on this project, WEX very kindly lent us a couple of bits and bobs. They lent us the Canon C200, which was really useful. And they also lent us, along with the guys at AC Entertainment, 4 Quasar tubes, the new RGB model. So we had 2 2-foot and 2 4-foot tubes, which were great. We love to use these lights for a number of reasons, mainly due to the fact that they are light, so they're really easy to mount in lots of different places. They can be used as practicals or off-camera sources as well, which is fantastic. We also like them because they're relatively inexpensive. They're not cheap, but a 2-foot crossfade is around about £300. And for the quality of light and the amount of light they put out, they are a fantastic thing to have in our toolkit. We basically take them on every single shoot we go on, and they are a great kind of problem-solving, get-out-of-jail light. I think they're probably our most used light overall, which is saying something. So going on to the shoot that we use them for AlloyGator, we use them in 2 kind of main ways. On the first day, we used them to kind of augment the existing lights in the car park. So what we did was the car park itself had a load of existing fluorescent tubes in the ceiling, but I didn't feel that was giving us enough light, and I knew that some of the action would be taking place next to some of these vertical pillars, and I knew that we'd be shooting some wide shots, and I just wanted to kind of up the production value a bit, up the amount of light that was there, give the camera an opportunity to kind of flare off of some extra light sources, and just kind of add a little bit of production value basically. So what we ended up doing was running a load of 16 amp distribution. We had a petrol generator on the top of the car park. We run the distribution down, and then basically put 4 of the 4-foot Quasar tubes on the main pillars in shot, and basically we just mounted them as using these kind of little sticky things that enable you to put a cable tie around the lights, and just mounted them using that, and they stayed there all day. Because they're LED, they run nice and cool, so there was no risk of them getting hot and falling off or anything like that. The other way we used them was on day 2, where we had a space that was actually an old fire tunnel, and essentially we were trying to make it look like a bit of a kind of garage, kind of fantasy type, kind of Top Geary type space. So what I wanted to do is have the Ferrari in the middle of the garage and have quite a dramatic reveal as the lights come on to reveal little close-up parts of the car. At one point we were going to mount them on the actual walls and downlight the car. We had to play around with that, but that didn't work, and obviously, as I said, the versatility of these lights means we could just literally change the lighting setup very quickly. And then what we then decided was that actually it would be better if we put them on the floor and uplit the car and actually played those lights in shot as practicals, sort of pushing that kind of fantasy car advert kind of thing where you wouldn't really have lights on the floor like that, but it looks cool, so it works because it's a car advert. Who am I to argue? Basically we ended up rigging, I think we had 4 again of the 4-foot Quasar tubes on the floor surrounding the car, and then we rigged a little gag with the way that they were wired in, so that on my action call they come on sequentially, and you can see that in the final film where the lights come on quite dramatically and illuminate lots of little bits of the cars, and they just look great when you're lighting cars. You get the reflection of that kind of the line in the bodywork, and it looks really cool, and they gave out a huge amount of light actually, considering how small they are, and we were able to quite successfully light the entire space in quite a moody way, which is really cool. We also ran an 1/8 black pro mist in the matte box. It halates the highlights slightly, and it blooms out the highlights slightly, and it meant that running those lights practically in shot looked really good. The newer models, the RGB models, which we got to play with, they increase the flexibility of this light even more. So the original crossfades that we own, obviously they're bi-colour, they're LED, they're light, and all those kind of advantages. And then the new RGB rainbow tubes, they add a huge amount more, and as the name suggests, they actually add full RGB LED, which means you can dial in any color you want. So basically, to sum up, we absolutely love the Quasar tubes here. They make our life so much easier. They're incredibly flexible light. They put out a beautiful soft light, really high quality of light. They can be mounted in all sorts of different ways. We can have them as practicals, we can have them as fixtures. They work with inline dimmers, and they're just basically an incredibly versatile piece of equipment to have in your toolkit. They're quite inexpensive as well. And for us, that's just a really killer combo. There's not many pieces of kit that are both cheap and good, and these things really kind of fit that bill. We love them, we use them in all our shoots, and I hope you agree they were a really useful addition to the shoot as well. Thanks very much for listening. I hope you found that useful. You can head over to wex.co.uk where you can find out more about Quasar tubes and all of the other exciting stuff that they stock. And thanks very much for listening.